All right, so we're going to talk about sequences of transformation. So this is the questions from the worksheet that we got the other day, and I'm just going to go through them and walk you through them step by step and see what we did. Number one we did in class, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again. So it says that D is at negative 2, 7. Okay, E is at 2, 3. F is at 0, 1. And G is at negative 4, 5. So there's my figure. Okay. And the way that these work is you got to do them in order. So first I got to do this part of A, which means I got to apply that to the original image. We're going to apply that to all these points up here. So to get D prime, okay, I'm going to take the negative 2 for X and plug it in. So negative 2 plus 6 gives me 4. And take the 7 for Y and plug it in. So 7 minus 8 is negative 1. So 4 negative 1 is D prime, which is right here. Okay, then we'll do the same thing for E prime. So if I plug a 2 in, 2 plus 6 gives me 8. If I plug the 3 in, 3 minus 8 gives me negative 5. So there's my E prime. F is at 0. So if I plug the 0 in, 0 plus 6 gives me 6. And I plug the 1 in, 1 minus 8 is negative 7. So 6, negative 7. And then G's at negative 4, 5. So when I plug that in, negative 4 plus 6 gives me positive 2. 5 minus 8 gives me negative 3. So right here, G prime. So here is the shape after transformation number 1. Then I got to do this part, but I do it to the one previous. So I got to do it to all these points over here. So we're reflecting the red figure over the y-axis, which is here. So to do that, we're just going to count. So D is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right of that green line. So I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. And what we say is that's D double prime, because I've done 2 transformations now. And that point, D double prime is at negative 4, negative 1. And we do the same thing for E. E is currently 8 to the right of the green line, so I need to go 8 to the left. So E double prime. So that gives me negative 8, negative 5. F double prime is, or F prime is 6 to the right, so F double prime will be 6 to the left. So it's right here. Between negative 6, negative 7. And then G prime is 2 to the right, so it's 1, 2 to the left. So G double prime is right here. At negative 2, negative 3. So here is your final figure. All right, let's go ahead and do number 2. So let me go ahead and plot. L is at 6, 6. Here's L. 8, 8 is M. So that's up here. And N is at 8 right here. So there's my triangle. And the first thing they want me to do is reflect it over the line x equals 5. Well, x equals 5, remember, is a vertical line that goes through 5 on the x-axis. That vertical line there. So to find my primes, or my first ones to these first things, I just need to count again. So M is 1, 2, 3 to the right, so I need to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. So here's M prime. Okay. Then L is 1 to the right, so I need to go 1 to the left. That's L prime. And then N is 1, 2, 3 to the right, so I need to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. So here's my N prime. So there it is. Then they want me to take this and rotate it counterclockwise about the origin 270 degrees, which is 3 turns to the left. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you the actual rotating, so I'm going to have to use the rule. And the rule for 270 is switch the x and y and change the sign of the x. So currently, L prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 6. That's L prime. So if I do it to get L double prime, switch the x and y, so 6, 4, and change the sign of the x. So there it is. So it's at 6, negative 4. Should be right there. Okay. Then M prime. Well, M prime is currently at 2, comma 8. So again, you're going to switch them. So 8, comma 2, and change the sign of the back one. So it'll be 8, negative 2. So there's my m double prime. And then for n prime is currently at, let's see, it's at 2, 3. So again, follow your rules. We're going to switch them to be at 3, and then switch the sign of the back one to be 3, negative 2. So if you would have actually rotated it on paper, that's where your points should have been. All right, so number 3. So again, number 3, you got 0, 6, so it's a little weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The graph's a little off. I did that on purpose, so just follow along. B is at negative 3, negative 6. C is at negative 9, negative 6. And D is at negative 12, negative 3. Okay, so here is the figure. It looks kind of funny, but there's the figure. Okay, and the first thing I want me to do is dilate this with a scale factor of 1/3, which means, honestly, what that means is you're going to take each x and each y and divide them by 3. That's what 1/3 is. You're going to divide them by 3. So if I divide a to get a prime by 3, I'm going to get 0, comma 2. There's a prime. And then b prime, divide each the x and y by 3. So it's going to be negative 1, negative 2. C prime, same idea. Divide them both by 3. So that's going to give me negative 3, negative 2. And then d prime, same thing. Divide them all by 3. So it's going to give me negative 4, negative 1. So here is my new figure. You can see it's a lot smaller than what it once was. Then they want me to take the new points that I just got. So these ones down here. And they want me to apply this rule that I just wrote down here because we didn't talk about vectors. So that's the rule. So I'm going to plug the x in. So that's going to give me negative 5, comma 1. Right here. So that's my a double prime. That's going to give me negative 6, negative 3. Oh, sorry. A is at 0, 1. Sorry. A is at 0, 1. I wrote 1, or negative 5, 1. So A prime's here. B prime is. B prime's at negative 6, negative 3. So B prime would be here. Okay, then same thing. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. And then negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. So same idea. Right here, C prime. And then D prime, negative 4, that's at negative 9. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And I think these are off. I've moved these points. They're down 1. I put them in the wrong place, B and D. But that's the idea. So the points are correct. These are your final points right here. Okay, number 4. So again, they give me x is at negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's my x. Y is at 0, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And z is at negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So here's my triangle. And the first thing they want me to do is take them and rotate them 180 degrees counterclockwise. And again, I can't physically do the rotation, so I got to apply the rule. The rule is change their x sign, change their y sign. So that would mean that x prime would be at positive 6, negative 4. Right here. Y prime would be at 0, comma, negative 6. And Z prime would be at positive 4, negative 2. So here is my new triangle rotated 180 degrees. Okay, then they want me to take that and dilate it by a factor of 3 over 2, which means every single point is going to be multiplied by 3 over 2. So here's how we're going to do this. Let's start with x. I'm going to take the 6 and multiply it by 3 over 2. Remember, you only multiply it to the top, so that gives me 18 over 2, which is positive 9. That's my x value for that. Then I do the same thing for negative 4. If I multiply by 3 over 2, that gives me negative 12 over 2, which is negative 6. So 9, negative 6 is x double prime. Do the same thing for the y. 0 times anything, so 0 times 3 over 2. That's just going to stay at 0. That doesn't do anything. Negative 6 times 3 over 2, we've already done it with the positive. That's going to be negative 18, though, now, divided by 2, which gives me negative 9. So that means that now y double prime is 0, negative 9. So right here is my y double prime. And then z, same thing. 4 times 3 over 2 gives me positive 12 over 2, which is positive 6. And then negative 2 times 3 over 2 gives me negative 6 over 2, which comes out as negative 3. So my point would be 6, negative 3, which has now made it slightly larger. All right, number 5. Okay, so P's at negative 3, negative 4. P. Q is at 0, negative 3. R is at negative 1, negative 8. And S is at negative 4, negative 9. So here's my shape. Again, we're going to take the first rule, which I've rewritten for you. We're going to apply it to those original points. So P prime, if I do this, x plus 7, it's negative 3 plus 7 would be positive 4. And the y is not going to change because you're setting 0. So it's positive 4, negative 4. So there's my P prime. Q prime, again, plug the 0 in. That is going to give me positive 7, comma. Again, the y is not going to change. So positive 7, negative 3. So here's Q prime. Okay, R prime. Plug in the negative 1. Negative 1 plus 7 gives me positive 6. And then that's going to still be at negative 8. Here's R prime. And then S prime, same thing. Negative 4, plug it in. Negative 4 plus 7 gives you positive 3. And then it's going to be at negative 9. Right here. So S prime is right there. You can see it just shifted to the right a little bit. Then they want me to rotate this 90 degrees counterclockwise. And again, I can't rotate it, so I got to use the rule. And the rule for 90 degrees counterclockwise would be negative y, comma, x, meaning switch the sign. So switch them and switch their sign of the front one. So it would be, if I do it, it's going to be negative 4, 4. So if I switch the sign of the front one, it's going to be 4, 4. Here's my P double prime. Same thing here. So this would be now at 3, 7. that's Q double prime. This will be now at 8, comma 6. So that is R double prime. And S now would be at positive 9, comma 3. Which would be right there. So you can see it's physically turned now a little bit. All right, last one. Okay. We're going to plot the point. C is at -2, -2. D is at 1, -4. And E is at -3, 4. So there's E. So there's my triangle. And the first thing they want me to do is dilate those points, okay, through 0, 0 by a factor of 4, which means just multiply them all by 4. So C prime would be at -8, -8. D prime would be at 4, -16. And E prime would be at -12, -16. And obviously they're not going to fit on the graph, so you just got to go from there. Then we're going to reflect this over the line y equals -x. Remember the rule for that is they switch and both their signs switch. So this would now become 8, comma 8. This now would become positive 16, -4. And this one would become positive 16, positive 12. These are your final answers.